Former National Security Council Senior Director for Counterterrorism, Javed Ali, is here for more. Javed, thank you so much for coming on. Zelensky is proposing a demilitarized buffer zone in the Donbass region. How would that work, and how likely is Putin to accept that?
Well, Faith, nice to be with you this morning. And this is one of the sticking points or possible sticking points in the deal is the issue of territorial control, with Russia having captured a significant portion of Ukraine's territory in the east, and whether it's Donbass or other portions that are currently occupied by Russian troops. What is the status of that territory going to be under a peace plan? Would it be some kind of demilitarized zone where you'd have peacekeepers in the middle or some other kind of stabilization force to make sure that neither Ukraine or Russia tries to attack each other from that side? I mean, that's probably what it would look like. But we've heard President Putin say that he does not want to see Western or European troops on Ukrainian soil. So this is just yet one of a number of points that are going to be up for discussion and may prevent the deal from actually going forward.
And we've heard President Trump suggest that Ukraine may be better off making a deal to give up some land now rather than have Russia take it by force later. What do you think about that?
I think that's one of the big issues or questions on the tables. What is the big concession that Ukraine is going to have to make to get to the revised 20-point plan that they have put on the table, and that we've heard that both Ukraine and the U.S. have been spent talking about for over a month now, to include even the meetings in the last 24 hours. So this might be the grand bargain that President Zelensky has to make, and I'm sure it's probably not the one he wants to make. But if the goal is to end the fighting and get the best deal possible, that's probably the only option, or one of the few options on the table, is to cede some of that territory, whether it's in a demilitarized zone or just literally giving some of it to Russian control in return for all the other points or all the other conditions in the plan. And I think this is something that President Zelensky and his team in Ukraine are going to have to think very carefully about.
And Zelensky says U.S. and European security guarantees are almost agreed to. What do those guarantees need to include for Ukraine to actually make a deal here?
So one of the issues of the plan is this notion of security guarantees, and what would that look like? Obviously, over the past 4 years, the U.S. has provided over almost $200 billion worth of military equipment and other types of support to keep the Ukrainian war effort going. Would the security guarantees resemble those kind of packages that have already been delivered in terms of equipment and assistance and money? Possibly. Would it be some kind of NATO Article 5 like agreement, even though Ukraine is not going to be able to, at least under the plan, be a candidate for NATO membership? In the sense of Russia attacks Ukraine again, would the U.S. somehow be pulled into supporting Ukraine from that security guarantee perspective? So it's hard to know without knowing all the details in it, but I suspect it would resemble what we've already seen in the past with respect to the amount of equipment and aid that's gone to Ukraine.
Yeah, we'll all be watching as this develops. Javed Ali, we really appreciate your insights here. Thank you so much.